Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Charlie Gibson.
I don't have Pierre to quiet you down now. So quiet. I want everybody at the table to turn to the person next to them and say, "Hold that thought. We'll get back to it in just a moment," because we have more of the program to get through. I screwed up. David Muir would not have made this mistake, but I screwed up. I hope you're aware there's been a silent auction on cartoons, money all to go to a good cause. The bidding was supposed to close. I'm told it is going to be held open for a few more minutes. If you want to go out and bid on some of the cartoons, you are welcome to do so. Once the bidding is closed, people will come around and tell you whether you won or lost. And at some point, as you leave this evening, they will take your money. Isn't that always the way? Anyway, we do have the second half of the program to come. And I want to start by bringing to your attention someone that you know well, I think, the Reporters Committee Executive Director, Bruce Brown.
Thank you, Charlie. We are so grateful that you have come out for us on just a few hours' notice, and yet you already feel to all of us here like an old friend of the Reporters Committee. Thank you so much. And speaking of old friends, it's an iconic scene in one of America's most iconic novels. Atticus Finch, alone at night in front of Tom Robinson's jail cell, protecting him from the mob. But it took my rereading of To Kill a Mockingbird this spring with my 8th grade son to remember that someone was protecting Atticus. The publisher of the Macon Tribune waits in the shadows with a shotgun. "Had you covered all the time, Atticus," he tells him when the mob moves off. I've been thinking a lot about that scene in preparing for this year's gala. Harper Lee gave Macon a rich cast of characters, but it's not the sheriff, it's not the town doctor, and it's not any of those nosy neighbors my son complained about who watches over the lawyer that night. She chose the press, an imperfect press, to be sure, for all the reasons we see in the novel, but a free press playing the role that only it can perform. Though I can hear Garrison Keillor warning that this is the kind of speech you get when an English major is given the chance to talk, that scene captures for me the special entwined relationship between reporters and lawyers. The press protects the law so the law can stand up to those who would take it into their own hands. And the law, in turn, protects the press so it can publish what it learns. They cover each other. And that is a perfect image for this night, for this organization, for this moment in May when so much feels like it is hanging in the balance, and for all of the people in this room. And as for the shotgun in that scene, though it's really important for the Reporters Committee to bring our friends from Bloomberg back every year, all I can say is that the president and the DHS Secretary Kelly may whisper all they want about the swords they're going to bring down on the press, but we have our weapons too. And what an honor it is at this time for the Reporters Committee to be working with so many inspiring journalists and lawyers. These last 6 months have been a time of intense collaborative efforts for us. When you support RCFP, you are supporting our work bringing other free press organizations together in new coalitions to face new challenges. You're supporting First Amendment legal clinics across the country, working in free press and media law with whom we partner. You are supporting efforts to connect tech and media in the building of a digital First Amendment. And you are supporting our day-to-day work with in-house counsel at news organizations on amicus briefs your companies all join. And finally, you are supporting our growing staff and our growing ambition. In litigation, we are taking cases for small publishers, investigative journalists, nonprofits, magazine writers, as well as for major media. Fresh from our recent win for the Acorn in state court in tiny Camarillo, California, who would know it? Our litigation director in 2 days squares off in the Second Circuit against a certain New York real estate developer as we seek to unseal the settlement agreement in a lawsuit concerning the use of undocumented workers to build Trump Tower. Our shingle says, no case too small and no case too big. And thanks to your generosity, we are able to do all of this work pro bono. So from the Reporters Committee to all of you, we have you covered too. Our deepest gratitude again for all of you for turning out to support these efforts and toast our amazing slate of speakers and honorees and dinner chairs. And I would next like to introduce Michael Blum, president of First Look Media, one of our very important partners, for another exciting announcement, which, like the first half of the program, will take Have You Covered to an extraordinary new level. Michael. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Thank you, Bruce, and David Boardman, and all you guys at Reporters Committee. It's a thrill to be here. Congrats to all the honorees tonight. So a lot of you may not know me, but I'm really lucky to be part of a company called First Look Media, an organization that creates, supports, and defends journalism. And we're built on the belief that an independent media is critical for a healthy democracy and a vibrant culture. And we do three things primarily. One is, through our journalism, we seek to hold the powerful accountable. Second, we have an entertainment studio where we make movies, TV, and digital content, where we try to tell stories that help shape the world. And then lastly, through our philanthropy, we try to help those that are being unfairly attacked or doing great work that's related to the First Amendment. So it's a thrill for us to be here tonight. I'm going to embarrass a couple people now, but from our fearless adversarial journalism at The Intercept, which is led by our editor-in-chief, Betsy Reed. Betsy, please stand up, say hello. She hates this, by the way. To the cinematic journalism of our documentary film unit, called Field Division, led by Laura Poitras, who's also here tonight. Laura, please stand up. We are, as you can tell, really committed to backing this really important work. And my boss, Piero Midiar, who also founded eBay, incredibly impressive guy, he founded First Look because he believes that there's a need to look for the truth and to tell a story, even if it means, and especially if it means that it makes folks uncomfortable, and especially if those people are in positions of power. Earlier this year, we, along with our partners at the Democracy Fund, some of whom are here tonight, Tom Glazer and others, I'm not sure where you are. Tom, say hello real quick. Down in DC. We made significant new grants, $12 million in total, to several nonprofits, some of whom are here tonight, including Center for Investigative Reporting. If you guys are here, please stand up. These guys are all doing great work. Center for Public Integrity, and then ProPublica, so these guys can continue to do their great work. So we're really proud of all that. Thanks, guys. So let's face it, we're all living in incredibly challenging times, and journalism, especially independent journalism, is under real assault. And oftentimes, independent journalists and newsrooms and filmmakers don't have the resources, the insurance, the funds to defend themselves against legal threats. And so that's where we come in at First Look Media. So tonight, on behalf of all of us at First Look Media, I'm thrilled to announce the expansion of our Press Freedom Defense Fund. We launched the fund in 2014 to support those that were pursuing legal fights where press freedoms or human rights were at stake. And today we're increasing that commitment to $2 million, plus we're adding an additional $2 million in matching funds, so that brings the total to $6 million for this new effort. So we're really pleased to announce that. We hope to help lots of folks. And as part of this, I'm thrilled to announce that we're partnering with Bruce and the Reporters Committee, who are helping us facilitate this whole expansion. So couldn't be a better time to do that. And we're proud that along with our partners at the Democracy Fund, to have committed nearly $1 million in funding for the Reporters Committee to help them do their important work. So thanks, guys, for all that you do. And by the way, we're also creating a world-class advisory committee for the new fund, comprised of a bunch of First Amendment experts, so I will likely be hitting up a bunch of you guys at the bar later. So stand by for that. And as some of you guys may know about some of our prior work, through the fund, we organized and provided the amicus support for the Gawker Hulk Hogan case that forced the courtroom to stay open, so we're quite proud of that. And then we helped produce the documentary called Nobody Speak that tells the story of that landmark case, and that'll be on Netflix this summer. This is sort of the other part of the company where we try to amplify important stories that we think matter. We also were an early advocate of Chelsea Manning, helping support her legal appeals. And we're now helping to tell her story through a new documentary we have that's called XY Chelsea that we just announced at the Cannes Film Festival a couple days ago. So we're quite excited about that. Look for that coming up soon. And I should say Laura Poitras's newest documentary, which is called Risk, is in theaters now. It is a riveting, it's amazing behind-the-scenes look at WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. And we're really proud of it. If you don't have a chance to see it in theaters, it'll be on Showtime this summer, but definitely check that out. So Laura, congratulations. So as you guys can tell, we believe in the power of these stories and the way they can move people and create real change. And so when the script for the movie Spotlight came our way, we knew we had to be a part of it. It was not only an incredibly compelling film directed by my pal, Tom McCarthy over here, you're going to hear from in a minute. But at its core, it's a story about the vital role that investigative journalism plays in our society. Journalism really at its very best, challenging those in power, exposing injustices, and informing the public. So obviously we were incredibly grateful. That was our first feature film, and it could not have gone better. And last year we were incredibly lucky to share the Oscar stage with Tom and tell the story of our dear friend Marty Barron, who's somewhere here, I can't quite see him in the lights, who's being honored tonight, and it remains really one of our proudest moments. So it's a real thrill to be here tonight, both with Marty and with Tom, and Josh Singer, who also co-wrote the script. So you'll hear from him as well. Unbelievable piece of work. So Marty, listen, thank you for the many, many years of fearless journalism. As you guys all know, it's more important than ever before, and that's why we're honored, all of us here at First Look Media, to stand shoulder to shoulder with you guys here tonight and with news operations globally, really, to protect the First Amendment, resist those who try to intimidate, and never stop speaking truth to power. So thanks.